Infamously speaking, 10th anniversary aviator. That's a wild cigar that he's smoking at this moment with all the plane crashes that have been happening. 04
This
to
might be
10
the
years.
reason. 04 is to 10 years. It might be the reason. You ever seen that movie with Denzel?
Which one? Probably not.
I think it's called Flight. Um, Basically, he was fucking still lit and drinking while he was flying the airplane. He actually saved their lives because he was like that good of a pilot. But because they still found alcohol in the system, obviously it was a problem.
Bro, imagine that shit. Imagine that shit, bro. You find out, like you get to where you're going, everything's chill, and then you find out like a month later there's an investigation and your pilot was fucking lit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How crazy
They
that
got
should be,
paid.
bro.
They got paid.
Damn, what a come up.
What a come up.
What
Well,
a guy.
that shit is kind of scary, bro.
Man, you can't worry about shit like that.
You can't, right? It's almost like I had this conversation with someone. They said they were afraid to fly, but I'm like, what's the difference? Like if you're driving, like same things can happen. If it's an accident, it's an accident.
Yeah,
Right?
you just tell them what's the worst that can happen. You fly to a mountain. It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. It's crazy. Like my boy gave me advice way long time ago. He was like, because we was flying to Florida and I was nervous and shit. And he was like, Quan, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
Right.
There's no shit around it. So
listen, if it ain't your time, it's not your time.
Yeah.
I seen there was just a plane that flew into Toronto that ended up flipping upside down in the snow.
Yeah.
I think everybody made it out, but there was a video of somebody videoed themselves evacuating the plane, and it's just like
prior or after?
After the shit flipped and they were getting evacuated, and he just couldn't stop saying like holy shit, which is how surreal must that be?
Yeah. What was probably like the scariest moment that you came across that was maybe close to death of some sort?
Wow. I almost drowned when I was a kid.
What happened?
Well, I shouldn't even say almost drowned, bro. I don't even know if I was close to drowning, to be honest with you, but you know when you're a kid and like I was like 7, 8 years old. So I knew how to swim, but I wasn't a really strong swimmer at that point. But I was tall for my age. And so whenever we would go out to like the lake or whatever, I could normally touch the ground, no problem. And so I wouldn't really have to swim super hard. So anytime I swim, I was swimming because I wanted to swim, not because I had to swim. And so I remember I was playing ball with my brothers, and it went, one of my brothers threw it over my head, and it kind of went far out. And I grabbed the ball, no problem. And I went to go touch the ground, but I couldn't touch the ground. And the first thing I did, I was never been in a situation like that, so I panicked.
Yeah.
And I remember my head went underneath the water, and the first thing is like you start gasping and shit. But thank God he was with me. I just started like my brain just kind of took over. I just started like swimming. But I remember I had nightmares of that shit when I was a kid for like 3 nights, bro. Like just replaying that moment every time I go to bed. And I think that'll probably be like the closest time. I probably wasn't even anywhere close to drowning, but for like 2 seconds, I was like, this shit is over.
You felt, yeah.
I was like, it's close.
So game over. Wasted. You would have to get Grand Theft Auto wasted. Done.
Game over.
I got probably a couple of them, but
that lake almost put me on a t-shirt.
I was thinking of like the airplane situation, and like I just couldn't imagine the horror you're probably feeling in that moment. Because I don't know if you've ever been on a roller coaster, but even when you get stuck on the roller coaster all the way up top, and like, all right, we're stuck. They're gonna figure it out, like maintenance wise, right? You're just sitting there, so you're like, what the fuck? You start thinking of all these crazy thoughts. Right, we often get, just like with anything, we often get in our own head, right? But with the swimming thing, that shit happened to me, but that was different. My uncle had a pool, and I was always at my cousin's house, and he just threw us in the middle, and it was kind of like figure it out.
That's a good way to learn how to swim.
Yeah, no, that was bad. I was traumatized for a while, but whatever.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah. I ain't know how to swim.
Bro.
I was probably
I
like
don't
3.
even. Oh, that's crazy. I don't even know how I learned how to swim. To be honest with you, I think I learned how to swim just by like that, where I would just. But I obviously I'd always be able to touch the ground, and I would just like see because my older brother knew how to swim, and I would just kind of watch what he did,
You
and I
just
saw like,
doggy
oh, that's
paddle,
what,
bro.
yeah,
The
whatever.
fact that you know
That
how
shit
to
work.
swim but can't ride a bike is disturbing.
Stop bringing that shit up, bro.
Yo, and you got a Peloton. Like, bro, what is going on
I
here?
do got a Peloton, and speaking of that, I'm fucking pissed because I ordered a special seat. I ordered a special seat for the Peloton because the seat that it comes with is mad narrow.
I didn't even know you wore a seat.
What?
Just figured you just leave. Yeah, I just figured you leave the bar, like the bar that's just poking you. Ah. the fact the fact that you was confused. Yo. Yo.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yo. I'm literally in tears right
No.
now. Oh shit. Oh man.
Yo, that is crazy work. There's definitely somebody out there that does that. Like it encourages me not to sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
That's what I mean. Like it
Those are the
just makes
same
you
people.
not stop.
Those are the same people that get bidets just to shoot themselves.
You got a bidet, don't you?
I sure do, but I don't use it for pleasure.
Yo,
I mean,
so
if I rode the Peloton with no seat, I probably wouldn't even be able to feel it.
yeah, you definitely gonna be. If you do, it's because you're all cut up inside with the fucking the metal bar, bro. But yeah, that's crazy.
Insane. Anyways, yeah, I definitely had to
So,
sit on the Peloton, but it's
so let me
wild
ask you.
narrow.
Let me ask you a few questions because I feel like you got your bidet probably because your wife. All right, so it's because your wife. All right, so when was the first time you tried it, and what was that experience like?
It was weird as fuck.
Yeah,
But so I got it because when she was pregnant with E-Man, I guess it's common for women to have. They tell you not to exert a lot of pressure and try not to like fuck around with shit like that when you give birth, uh, vaginally because it exerts a lot of pressure on you. But so they sent her home with a squirt bottle. And I'm like, oh, and I was like, why'd they give you that? Being naive, right?
yeah.
And she's like, oh, it's because they don't want you doing anything you don't have to do down there, pretty much. And I was like, I'll just get a bidet. They're like $30, and they actually have them in the Philippines, so she's used to it. So I installed it.
There's no way they got a bidet in the Philippines.
No, but it's not like the shits that we have, bro. It's like the sinks that got like the fucking hose attachment.
Yeah.
That's how like they have it over there.
Yeah, yeah. I can
so the water
that.
be coming out all spiky.
Yeah.
For the first time I used it, it was definitely weird as shit. Number one, I don't have a heated one, so the water's cold as fuck. But yeah, it definitely was weird. But I'll tell you what,
it's only $30 for that.
It was only like $30 for the one that I got, bro. And it's mad easy to install. And I'll tell you what, it's weird as shit, but you'll never be cleaner. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, bro.
That's crazy. So when I went on my trip, I went on this trip, and my boy had one for his family and shit. And I didn't even use it till like the last day. I'm not even gonna lie, but I was like,
it's game changer, bro.
I was like, I never used a bidet. It said it's clean. I felt almost guilty for for using it. Like, what am I doing here? But yeah, it was definitely
a moral decision. It was a moral
decision. It was like oh, but yeah, like you said,
the pressure all the way up.
Nah. Even the slightest pressure was like, the hell?
It's like someone opened up a fire hydrant. Yeah, that shit crazy. Nah,
I
but
don't know how the fuck we got to
it's
bidets,
game
but
changing,
whatever.
bro. I mean, listen. Once you once you stop being immature about it, right? Because that's exactly wrong. I'm not using that shit. What are people gonna think about me? But we talked about it last show. It's like sometimes you don't have to, you gotta stop giving a fuck about what people think about you.
Yeah.
Because listen, think about this. If you got shit on your hand, would you just wipe it with a piece of toilet paper? You'd wash your fucking hands. You use water.
Yeah.
So why are you just using the toilet paper to wipe your ass? Even if you wet it, that shit gonna tear.
Yeah, the
That doesn't.
wipes.
Even wipes, bro. That shit ain't gonna clean it all up. You need water, bro.
No, you
You need
use wipes for
water.
babies. You don't just. You're
You
not
can't
giving your
flush
baby
wipes
a
for
whole.
babies.
No, you don't. You're not supposed to flush any of the wipes.
No, you gotta get the flushable wipes. What the fuck you doing? You
No,
putting doo-doo
even
wipes in the trash? You nasty.
yeah, there's a little trash can.
Fucking nasty ass kid, bro. Nah,
There's
bro.
not like
You be
there's a
putting
whole
shit
thing of
wipes.
shit. You put diapers in the trash? I got a diaper
I got a
genie
diaper
just for my
fan.
wipes. Yeah, I got a
Oh,
diaper
okay.
genie.
All right. No, you don't.
Yeah, I got a diaper genie.
No, this guy got a fucking stop and shop
Yo,
bath. He
speaking of
doesn't have his
which,
bathroom
speaking
door.
of which, let's transition a little bit. For all my friends and family who are having all these babies, I love y'all. I really do. That's why I continue to show up to these baby showers. But your decisions are now costing me a whole bunch of money that I don't have.
Hell
So
yeah.
can you please keep that between you and your loved one? No, I told my boy, I was like, yo, let them just fall off the truck, man.
He delivers eggs?
Yeah. I was just joking, though. I would never put anybody in that position. Plus, morally, I'd feel wrong taking eggs off the truck.
I want to talk about something that you just said there. Not about taking the eggs off the truck, like no heist shit. But eggs are getting to the price where you might have to do a heist. No
Yeah,
lie,
nah,
bro.
it's like it's as good. It's almost as valuable as like when the Goodfellas was taking cigarette cartons and electronics off the trucks back in the day.
Or toilet paper during COVID. Shit
Nah,
crazy, bro.
Trump was throwing them shits around.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. But I want to talk about because you said you wouldn't put anybody in that position, and I always thought that was so interesting that because we were talking people like, oh, if you're your boy, if someone's your boy, you should always be there for them regardless of the situation, right? Like you should show up. What comes to a point where it's like, bro, the fact that you expect me to show up in a situation like that, I'm not really your boy. You're not my boy.
You're
You're not
not
my
my boy.
friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you
What's the
gotta.
fine line between
That's a
that?
good. That's a great question, actually. This happens, especially because I have been around interesting characters on what they decide to partake in, and one of my other boys, shout out to Adion. Actually, it was Adion. He was like, Quan, you got a lot to lose, bro. Like, you worked hard and you got a lot to lose, and some of the individuals might not, and they're putting you in situations where your family could be at risk, your daughter, obviously, and you got to be real with that person and have that conversation. I think, right? So, like, if my boy's out there wilding out and he expects me to pull up, he just got to understand, like, depending on the circumstance, I can't just get up every fucking time to go out there. Like, even if I wanted to, I just couldn't. But as long as I had that conversation with them, I think that's the right move. Like, listen, though, obviously, if you're doing some crazy shit, I got you. But at the end of the day, you got to understand you're putting me and my daughter at risk. And if you can't respect that, then that's a whole nother thing, right?
Well, yeah, and I think unfortunately, like it goes to places like that though, where it's like, because we're like, yeah, they're in those situations. You just describing some crazy shit, but they're not thinking about the impact that it could have on you, just beyond what the situation is. Like we've all been in some tense situations where shit could have popped off and shit could have went left real quick, right? Like the expectation of if you out and someone tries fucking with your boy and everybody got to get involved. Like what happens if things get messy and somebody really gets fucked up?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then people start catching cases because of that. And so it's like sometimes like that's why it's always been for me whenever I would go out with people, it was always my dad always told me that. He's like, you gotta be real careful with the people that you go out with. He's like, because you have no idea what kind of situation you'll end up in.
Yeah.
He's like, you have no idea what they might do, and the fact that you're associated with them could get you hot. Could get you
Yeah.
hot.
I mean, if anybody knows, it'd be your dad, right? Just because he's been, uh, he went through the things he went through growing up in New York. But I never really had that. We talked about this, right? So like, I didn't know any better. I just knew like this is the person I'm chilling with all the time. Of course, I'm gonna be there for them
Yeah,
if
it's like a
shit pops
code.
off.
It's like a code.
Yeah,
Unwritten rule.
and I think that was what's wild is that was a lesson I learned probably more recently than when I was younger. As far as like knowing my boundaries and setting those limits of like what is acceptable and what's not. Um, because when I was younger, it was like it's whatever. We go do whatever, and you don't think about the consequences in the moment. I think that just comes with life in general and maturity and all that. Because I want to say the majority of people I know is like that. Like they've been through some shit. They got shot. They fucking shot at and all that extra shit. And when I talk to them now, it's like, how would you do that? If you could do it over, would you do it over? What would you do? And it's so interesting, responses. Some still do the same thing. Some will do it different, but
They probably not even going outside. Like, no, I'm gonna stay my ass home. My dad, one thing my dad told me was like, listen, if you are people that don't even got to think about it, then you got way more to lose than they do, and that's just what it is. He's like, before you do anything, he's like, you know what it is, especially now. He's like, he told me this when I was about to become a dad. He's like, now you know what it is because now it's not just yourself anymore. You got your son on the way. You got his mom. We weren't married yet. He's like, but regardless, he's like, even if you guys aren't together, you got to make sure his mom is good because his mom is the most important woman in his life, even if she's
yeah,
not important to you anymore. He's
yeah.
like, so you now whenever you move in, you got to think about three people and you come last. He's like, any decision you make, you gotta think about your son, then you gotta think about his mom, and then you gotta think about yourself. He's like, and if there's any situation that jeopardizes any of the three, but especially the first two, you don't go anywhere near it. Don't even entertain it. Don't allow yourself to dwell on the thought because you're gonna convince yourself that it's gonna be okay, and that's when shit's gonna fuck up. He's like, so don't even. She's like, just keep your ass home. If you think you get hot, don't even involve yourself. He's like, because you got way more to lose now because you got shit to think about.
Gmo posted a quote recently, and it was something like, "Oh, if it don't evolve me, it don't involve me." I thought that was pretty dope because, like,
Yeah.
we get even with our friends, right? We can get complacent. We talk about complacency at like work and like the professional field. Sometimes even your personal life with just like working out or whatever the case may be. But even amongst your friends, right? Your friends, those are the ones that should be pushing you um to progress. But sometimes, and you got some friends that are just stuck in their ways and aren't trying to evolve. But and that I mean, like for example, myself and there's others amongst our group that really tries to like push progress to some sense without overstepping, right? Because I'm not here to like father you or make you do things that you don't want to do. I'll just put it in your ear, and if you want to, take that for what it is, then you take that for what it is. But you should surround yourself with people who still trying to evolve and just grow, right? Like I think the best thing about life in general, other than caring for loved ones and stuff like that, is just the ability to still grow and just learn. It could be the simplest shit. Like I'll give you an example. One thing I'd learned recently is to better manage my time, right? So like I had to set up a calendar for a whole month of like what exactly I'm gonna be doing throughout the day. So like, what's today? Today is February 20th. So March 19th, I should tell you exactly what I'm gonna be doing at 2 o'clock. This sounds kind of crazy, right? And it is. it is a little tedious, but it's not even that difficult, to be quite honest with you. Because some of the things you just put in as a weekly routine. So, like every week, if I have a call with Matt at 1 p.m., now every week on a Wednesday at 1 p.m., that's blocked out. But the point is one, it makes me more time efficient because I know, okay, I got to handle this before this time is done. And it makes me more uh, reliable when it comes to other things that may need my time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's
like,
I'm like, yo, who gives a shit about fucking calendars? No, but it's actually good because you shared that with me off the show a couple days ago, just because of all the things that you have going on and how you need that structure and how it's been an extremely useful skill for you, which is great because that kind of just shows an evolution of what you're talking about. Because I mean, I knew you before, and that wasn't something that you did as rigorously. I know that you had calendar before, obviously, but
yeah,
now you're like, I'm planning each part of my day to make sure I'm as efficient as I can be because you have so many different priorities where it's like if I don't block out time for it, it's going to be a mess. And,
yeah,
and nothing's ever going to get prioritized because you're just going to go whatever's on your mind at the moment. And that might be priority number 5 out of 10 when you should really
yeah.
be focusing on one and working your way down. So, no, I definitely respect that. And I love the quote by Gmo. But it looks like you want to say something. So before I maybe take it another way, I'll let
How
you
do you
finish your
know
thought.
that? That's crazy. You're getting really good at
I
this
saw you
potting.
lean in. I saw you lean. I
So
saw you
no,
lean.
that's,
Wow, I
so
sounded
that's
Spanish. I
crazy.
saw you lean in. I saw you lean in.
Wow, you'd be a good poker player. That's a tell. That's a tell right there. So just to bring it back, that's a good pod. That's how you know what you're doing. But to bring it back, and this shows you that I know what I'm doing. Is part of the reason why I brought up the calendar was because it's okay to say no, and that's right. It's even with your friends in the situations. It's okay to say no. Like, yeah, thank you. The class wasn't necessary because I know what it is, but it's okay to say no because if you continue to keep saying yes, yes, one you're gonna overwhelm yourself, potentially burn yourself out, and if you know morally it's not the right thing, then why agree to it, right? It's just I wanted to bring that back full circle real quick, but I'll let you continue on. I apologize, sir, but I thank you for letting me speak so I don't forget it.
No, you're good. Peer pressure is a real thing. I think that's part of the reason why, you know, we allow ourselves to be influenced, but also, and I kind of said it a little bit a couple minutes ago, which is you get a thought. If you know you shouldn't have it, don't dwell on it. Because if you dwell on it, then you keep thinking about it, it's going to sway your decision making. So just, you got a thought that you shouldn't have, you get rid of it and keep it moving, like you said. If you know you shouldn't do it, let it go. Keep moving on. But to Jimo's quote or the thing that he posted, if it doesn't evolve me, it doesn't involve me. That I find it so interesting because we always talk about growth. And it's like, and pretty much the way I look at it is if I'm not growing, then I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna show up to it if I don't feel like it has value, positive value to me.
Yep.
Um, but what I want to break it down to this as well because that doesn't always mean like you're doing something to develop yourself. Because like sometimes, uh, and I know you say you do a lot, but like reflecting and just meditating or relaxing or chilling
Yep.
helps you.
Decompressing with the
The
cigars definitely help.
decompressing, right? So it doesn't always have to be like you're going after something. It could just be like you're scheduling in that break in your time. Like for you, it could be you're just scheduling in 30 minutes of
Yeah.
break, and
Yeah.
that could be huge for you too because getting the chance to kind of just decompress makes you better, makes you sharper. And so I just wanted to call that piece out too because I don't want people to think that you always got to be doing something because relaxing is doing something.
Oh
You're
no,
just
for
giving
sure.
yourself a break. You're giving your brain a break so you can to rest and come back better.
That's perfect. So I was going to speak on this, but you pretty much did. Have you ever heard of the? I'm probably gonna fuck it up, but I usually fuck it up on purpose. The Pomodoro effect.
No.
So what it is, and I've been practicing this at work and trying to do it more outside of work because it's been helping. So what it is you work for 25 minutes, you take a 5-minute break. You work for 25 minutes, you take a 5-minute break. You work for 25 minutes, you take a 5-minute break. And then you work for, I think it was 50 minutes, and you take like a 10, 15-minute break. What it does is it refreshes you. So like you said, even if you're not doing anything, you are. You're refreshing your brain. You're taking a moment to yourself, and then you come back ready to attack whatever task you was working on. I'll tell you, it's been helping me tremendously. I'm not even bullshitting, like, because if you're working, especially if you're working on like a report or like something with numbers and a lot of graphs, it can get tedious, and then you're like, your mind starts to wander and all this other shit. Just take your 5 minute, take a walk, go get some water, eat an apple. I don't fucking know. Do something that's somewhat productive for yourself, and then just come back rejuvenated. It's been helping. I honestly have. I feel like it's been helping, and I've been sharing that with people. Just try it, right? Just try it, and you don't have to. Some people do it like. Sometimes I'll be like, if I'm in the zone, right, and I'm working, and I feel like I can complete the task, I'll complete the task, then take the 5 minutes, and then come back, refresh to take on whatever task else I have on my agenda. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. The Pomodoro Technique.
Yeah.
Exactly how you described it. Choose a task, set a time for 25 minutes, work on it, without distractions. Timer ends, take a 5-minute break. You do that 3 times in a row. And on the 4th break, 15 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And apparently it's supposed to help you just complete more focused work because you're scheduling in that break time. You don't have to try to sneak something.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to try to sneak. You don't have to try to like sneak a little quick peek at your phone because we all know. I'm like, oh, let me check my phone real quick. You're in there for 15 minutes. Don't even realize it.
And what I will say is during that 5 minutes, I've been making it a habit not to check my phone because on my phone will be a message for work saying I need this or need that. It's another distraction. Or if you get caught up in the rails, or if you get caught up watching Infamously Speaking, you're not going to want to turn off that. So
yeah, definitely not.
So I don't even pick up my phone.
We'll give you a break on that though.
That's why I'm saying go get some water, walk around, do something. Don't go on your phone because that's just another distraction. Then when you come back, you're not as refreshed because your focus is now on what you were just paying attention to.
I like that. I'm gonna try to implement it. I'm gonna implement it starting tomorrow. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, let me know how it goes. Honestly, it's been a game changer for me. Why do you think I'm so like ready to go today? All right, yo. So shout out to NoMagicEntertainment.com. This is where you can pick up a diplomat's hat or a few of the other hats you've seen me rocking on some of the prior episodes. That fire Washington hat that Matt called out. They got some heat over there. I've been fucking with them for a while now, but yeah, click on their site, see what they have, and so like I was referencing, right, the Pomodoro effect. It really does help with my focus and making sure. And out of all people, you know how tired I've been because I've been reaching out to you and just telling you some of my new tasks that I got on hand and challenges and stuff like that. But I wish Tone got on because this is why, right? So yesterday I called Matt about 3 or 4 times because I had to take a long road trip and I got lost. But Google had my back, but they really didn't. They took me on this route from like Massachusetts all the way to deep into Connecticut, all back roads. Like no houses, no lights, only wildlife, and me falling asleep behind the wheel on these narrow ass roads. So I'm calling Matt so I don't pass out. And like a good friend he is, he said no. Just he set his boundaries. He didn't answer the phone.
You know what's crazy? I don't know. I'll clear that shit up real quick. So earlier in the day, while he was driving there, I was on the phone with him for about 45 minutes.
That's true. That's true.
And the reason I pick up is because I was working. I was on a call at the time. But I love how you call out. If you call me 100 times, I probably pick up about 95. But you pick one of the 5 times out of the 100 that I don't pick up.
No,
and
that's
call
true.
out on this show. No.
Yeah. No. I still appreciate you. Oh, but yeah, I was excited to do the show today, and I have been, anyways, right? Like this is what we do, but I've been looking forward to these conversations. I just feel like they've been getting better and better. And yo, I'll tell you what, this little combination I got going right now with this old Forester and this Aviator is phenomenal. Like I'm truly enjoying it. I tend to pick cigars when I have a cigar doing the show. I tend to pick cigars that are like I would say like mid, just because I don't want to ruin or waste a good like a really good cigar. Because when you smoke, you're decompressing and you're kind of just
chill.
enjoying it. Yeah, you're just enjoying it.
Get it.
And then when we're having a conversation, it distracts me from enjoying the actual cigar. And now I think it's happening vice versa. While I'm enjoying the cigar so much, it's distracting me from the conversation a little bit.
That's exactly what I want to have on the show.
Yeah, because you wanted to lean towards your way. What you need to do is just put a poll up, and it says.
Now, after your bike comment, I'm not doing nothing with polls.
No, yeah, your bike comment and what you're doing.
No.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. That was the worst part because I enjoyed riding. Remember, I talked about like riding a bike is probably one of the best exercises that I enjoyed.
Yep.
Throughout the year, and
don't tell me you lost your seat.
No, but that's the worst part is the seat. Like I remember looking for better seats because the fucking seats are so uncomfortable. It's like, damn, I got another 10 miles to go, and I got to fucking. At that point, you're pretty much standing up,
right?
Like standing up, pedaling.
That's how it was. And I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be consistently on this thing. No way.
The fact that you can't ride a bike is still. We gotta work on that, bro.
Bro, I didn't miss out on anything in my life.
You did, especially where you are. You know how much fun Nona and the boys would have if you guys took like a bike trip as a family with the scenery out there?
Who's gonna have fun?
All of you.
Nah,
because you're gonna have fun. You're gonna have fun that your family's really enjoying it.
Nah, fuck that.
I know you. Nah, you say that, but I know you.
I'm gonna have to log them around. That's the problem, bro. Who's gonna have the kids behind them? They can't ride. I mean, Email old enough. Yeah. Probably teaching to ride a bike.
Yeah, I just pictured all four of you on one bike.
Tandem bike.
That's funny, huh?
No, I mean, and then what happens if one of them gets lazy? Like, oh, Dad, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, you got.
Nah, we got 5 miles to go, motherfucker.
Look, and that's a teaching moment. You gotta carry your weight. You gotta carry your weight, son.
I'll be like, yo, damn, son, I feel you. Let's never do this shit again. And now I'm like $2,000 in the hole buying bikes because them shits ain't cheap.
Damn, man, that just made me think like how nice it must be to be like, hey, son, come here, son. It reminds me of that, like I told you in one of the other episodes of the Cowboys, and it's like, come here, son, I want to talk to you. Don't get me wrong, like I love how being a dad.
Stop trying to cover up.
No, I'm not covering up.
Stop trying.
But I would like to like, come here, son. Let me teach you how to piss around this tree.
I tell you what, it did feel good the first time when after months of potty training him, when he was like, Dad, I gotta go to the bathroom. And he just did it himself. I'm like, that's my boy. He knows what he's doing now. Now he's a man.
No, son, you're not supposed to use the bidet when you're pissing.
Yeah, he knows how to use it though. He knows how to use it.
That's crazy.
He's like, because he got his own bathroom.
Well, he got a bidet in his own bathroom.
No. We can't put a bidet in there.
I was just say that's crazy.
Wow, Ezekiel walk in there and shower time.
Fucking bidet on the potty trainers is wild, bro.
Bro, did I tell you the bidet story with E-Man? I don't know if I shared the bidet story on the pod.
No.
So back when I lived in Norwich, I've had the bidet because I got it. I first got it when I was pregnant with E-Man. So this was it was either right before Nona gave birth to Ezekiel. She'll say it was before she gave birth to, but I could have sworn it was like a couple weeks after we came home with Ezekiel. So E-Man, he's not 2 yet, but he's about to be 2. A couple months he'll be 2. We're downstairs in the living room, and we're just talking, and I had brought E-Man upstairs because he was falling asleep. We was getting ready to go upstairs in a little bit anyways. It was like 8:30. He had fall asleep next to me on the couch. So I brought him upstairs, put him in the bed so he could be comfortable. But when I put him down, he was kind of like moving around. So it was like 50-50 if he was gonna fall back asleep or wake up. But normally if he would wake up, he would just stay in the bed and wait for us because he knew we would be coming up. So I'm talking with Nona for like 5-10 minutes or whatever. And then out of nowhere, I just like, I wonder what E-Man's doing. And shit you not, like 5 seconds later, he comes downstairs and he's fucking absolutely soaked from head to toe, fucking dripping water, leaving puddles everywhere he
That's
goes. And I'm like,
crazy.
what the heck? I'm like, what happened? Why are you wet? And he was like, toilet. Because he wasn't speaking full sentences just yet.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. So I'm thinking toilet, like he, put his hand in the toilet, was throwing water all over himself. But it was worse than that. I go upstairs and the bidet is just shooting water. And so my bathroom that I had there's a bathroom against the back wall. Then we had a laundry hall. So we had like a little hallway that had a washer and dryer. Then there was a little hallway for the upstairs area to go between rooms, and then the stairs, and then the back wall where the stairs are. The water was hitting the back wall where the stairs were. And the bidet just shooting water, bro.
That's wild.
And so, and you remember the carpets I had at my house, bro, like these plush, real nice carpets. Which means they're like fucking sponges, absorb the water. So I'm walking up the stairs and just like puddles.
Yeah.
And so at this point, you think I'd be pissed, but I'm not, because I'm like, dang, I probably left the door open.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it was on me. It's on one of us. One of us left the door open. It was probably me. It didn't close it all the way. He went in there. He's curious. He's not even 2 yet.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, it's not a big deal because I have a carpet cleaner. It's like a wet vac at the same time. Because I'm like, we're gonna have accidents, so that's why I bought one. So I'm not mad at all. I go downstairs, tell my wife what happened. Everybody comes upstairs. We get E-Man changed because he's wet, and we're cool. So I'm like, I'm gonna start cleaning this up now. Now this is where this motherfucker starts getting me hot. So I'm cleaning up the water and I put him in the room and close the door. He keeps getting off the bed, opening the door, looking at me, and keeps asking me, what am I doing? But he's like, he doesn't know how to say it all. So he's like, doing, because he wants to know what I'm doing. And I'm like, oh, I'm cleaning up the water, buddy. And I was like, but stay inside, okay? Stay, because I don't want him to get wet again. So I'm cleaning it up. He keeps doing it, right? And each time he does it, I'm getting more and more annoyed because I have to stop and bring him back in because he's not listening to me. So then eventually, after 5 times, he comes outside, walks behind me, turns off my fucking vacuum, looks me dead in the face, and is like, what happened?
Hilarious, bro.
Like,
that's
he's
hilarious.
not smiling. He's not nothing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I didn't find it funny in the moment.
That was funny.
So unfortunately, it's unfortunate for him because you already know he got lit up at that point. Because I'm like, funny, I gave you grace with the whole water shit.
Yeah,
I'm not looking past this.
That's funny as fuck, bro. Yo, you know what I liked about that story, and it will be overlooked, is that you took self accountability first, right? You didn't just be like, oh, E-Man did this. You know what I mean? Like, it's so quick for us to point the fingers. And we talk about this all the time with the self-accountability piece. And it gets overlooked. So I applaud you for that because I do that often with Scooby. So, like, if I come home now and the trash is everywhere, granted, he should know by now not to get in the trash. But the first few times, it was my fault because I know that he didn't know any better. So I call it Scooby proof. Like I didn't Scooby proof the crib before I left. So that's on me. It's funny. Shout out to my guy Frazier. Frazier actually called me earlier when we was recording, so I couldn't pick up. But my boy Frazier was up here, so you know when he comes up, he usually stays at my crib, so he don't gotta get a hotel and none of that shit. But he stayed downstairs and he left his McDonald's out. And Scooby got into it and shit. So when we got to the crib, he's yelling at Scooby. I'm like, bro, you don't chill the fuck out. And then he says something. Oh, he said put him in the cage or something. Because that's when I had like, I forgot what they call him. Not a cage, but whatever.
Right.
I said, bro, you'll be going in that cage before school goes, bro. What are you talking about?
That's crazy.
And it was your fault that he got into it because you left it out. Like, what did you expect?
Yeah.
What did you expect? But shout out to my guy Fred. You know I fucks with you. Oh, that was a good story.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta. I mean, and then you tie it back to whatever, and it's just like you can't hold people accountable if you don't teach them.
Yeah.
Now, if they choose not to listen or don't want to learn, then that's different. But like now, we're going through this situation with my younger son, Ezekiel. He's 2. He's not picking up on things as fast as his older brother did.
Yeah.
Everybody learns at their own pace, but he's showing us signs that he knows something is wrong. What he's doing, like if he touches something he's not supposed to or grabs something, he'll run away when we call him out on it. So it's like now you're showing me, what you're doing is wrong.
You know the difference. Yeah.
And so now it's like, if E-Man had done that with the bidet a couple of times, I wouldn't have been as graceful as I was because he never did it again.
Yeah.
But now with Ezekiel, it's like we're at a point where it's like we have to keep reminding ourselves, like he's showing us he knows it's wrong. So now it's about accountability.
Yeah.
That's all it's about now. It's not about, yes, we could be lenient at times, but if the moment he shows us he knows it's wrong, everything else goes out the window because you're proving to me that you shouldn't be doing it, but you're choosing to do it anyways. Why you're choosing to do it, we got to try to work together to figure that out. But you're choosing to do it. So now here's the consequences of that decision.
Yeah.
So, and that goes with anything, right? It could be work, parenting, relationships. I don't encourage hitting your spouse, but
but you know what? That's crazy. I don't encourage you hitting your spouse, but sometimes
fuck it. No, I'm kidding. Definitely do not Ray Rice.
This guy's wild. This is why I look forward to having the conversations, right? Because I know you don't. I know you're joking, so it's just the humor part and just bouncing ideas back and forth and just telling some of the stories we have. Because I don't remember you telling me that story about E-Man, so that's a good one. I know I didn't tell you about my birthday story because it was recent. So
listen, bidet company, you want to sponsor us? Listen, I'm an advocate now. Now I'm not saying like go down and go and sit on it and use it. Whenever.
Give me a pitch.
You want to walk around with a dirty ass? Sure don't. Use a bidet. Simple.
That's easy.
That's easy.
You gotta throw some pizzazz on it though.
Oh, tired of walking around with shitty butt?
Splash your ass.
Splashyourass.com. Don't Google that.
.com.
Don't Google that.
No. That's crazy.
I can't tell you what's gonna come up.
That's as bad as Click for Licks, bro.
Click for Licks. Oh, Click for Licks.
So they don't know. So to give y'all some background, we usually one take these, right? But because I was having technical difficulties with my internet, there was multiple takes we had to do when we had Tone on as a guest. And I'll tell you what, if Matt ends up putting out some of those clips, it's easily some top 5 moments on Infamously Speaking. Like, it is some funny shit.
Clicks for Licks.
Yeah.
I meant to say clicks for likes, just so we could throw that out.
It's called a Freudian. Look it up. I don't want to mispronounce
Freudian slip. Freudian slip?
No, it's not Freudian. I don't think that's how you say it.
I'm pretty sure it's a Freudian slip.
It's similar to that, but it's not. I don't think it's Freudian. We didn't even do a toast. I did a heavy
Freudian slip theory suggests that unintentional errors in speech, writing, or actions, often cause slips of the tongue, reveal underlying unconscious thought.
Yeah, unconscious thought. Yeah, that's funny. So the reason
you clicks for licks is not unconscious thought.
Which brings me to another thing, right? How do you, and this is a question to you, obviously, but how do you control a situation when the other individual you're talking to is nothing but negative or pessimistic?
I don't think you could control the situation. I think you can influence the situation. It's really hard to control anything that involves another person.
I agree.
because you can't control what they're gonna do. In fact, you probably
Correct.
don't want to control what they do because you want whatever they do to be genuine, just so then you can react accordingly to it. You don't want them to be putting on a mask. To It's almost like whenever we talk about giving feedback, you want them to turn the light bulb on themselves. You don't want to
Yeah.
guide, right? You help
Self
guide them,
discovery.
but you don't want to turn it on for them. Exactly. So I don't think you can control the situation, but you could definitely influence it. And that's just by being genuine. And
Yeah.
it's by attacking the negativity head on. And just be
Love
like,
that.
listen, I get it. I get whatever it is. Let's just say they hate a change because it's a common topic for both of us right now. Big change, people are against it because they don't know what it means for them. And it could really impact it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, how do you have the conversation where there's just nothing but negative towards it? Where it's like, listen, I completely understand what it is. And I think there's a couple different ways, and we had this conversation off camera where it's like some people you could be really direct with. And it's just like, listen, and you gotta know your audience.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
like you were talking about. You gotta understand what your audience is. And it's like some people you could just be like, listen, this is what it is. This is the situation. This is what you have to do. And if you don't do it, this is what the outcome will be. And if you're okay with that outcome, then I'm okay with you doing what you're doing, and we'll make sure that we get you out of here. That's what you want. We're gonna respect that.
Yeah.
Some people you can't be like that. You can't be as direct because they're just gonna shut down.
Yeah.
Some people you just gotta hear them out, let them say what they have to say. Some people you can talk to right away. Some people you got to give some time after they said what they said.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you come back. You're like, you know what? I appreciate you being open and honest with me.
No,
So
that's
that's
the
the
real.
first step.
No,
That's
that's
the first
real.
step.
That's a great answer too, to be quite honest with you. Basically, depending on the person and what's most effective for them to really realize what you're saying is understanding their audience and how they're gonna receive that message, right? Like
Absolutely.
that. No, was a great point. That was a great point that I think a lot of people overlook because you're so quick to respond or so quick to engage that you gotta take a step back. Like, okay, what's gonna be best for this person? You know, I told Nove the conversation we had on last episode where the receipt thing, right? I remember was like if the customer the receipt, she's like, Dad, I know you're gonna tell them to fuck off or something like that. I'm like, whoa, relax. First off, I was like, honestly, no. If you was behind me, I would second guess what I would do in that situation,
Right.
and primarily because I've already shown that side of don't fuck with me type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
To the point now where my daughter expects that, right? And that's
Right.
on me. That's on me.
Yep.
I caused that. So I want her. And because I want her to be better than I am, I consciously have to think of that prior. So even when I picked her up today, I said if a car is going slow in that left lane, don't grab that glass that's sitting in the middle of my console. Don't overreact, right? And consciously, I'm really thinking about this because I don't want her.
That's good
to
that
pick.
you are.
Yeah, and I know that detrimental sounds like such a harsh word, but I know that I was detrimental to some of her growth in that space because of how she has already reacted to others not treating her the way that she deserves to be treated, right? And then I told her like what you said, which I love, is like your true character is the person that could respond to someone who's not treating you well and you still show that character of a good person. And her response was, "This is me. You created me. This is me. This is part of my personality." Talk about the spazzing out part, and I'm like, "Yeah, but no, you're an empathetic person, though. Like something that I know did was it touches me. So like it." So she found out one of the secretaries and one of the teachers was dealing with cancer. So, you know, Nove worked. So Nove took her own money and she went and bought them a few things and was just like, you know,
Wow.
I support you and what you're going through type of thing. All on her own. Like, no influence behind it other than her own
That's awesome.
empathy. Yeah, I love her for that. And I was telling her, like, that's who you are. The way you react to people, I get it, but that's not who you truly are. Who you truly are is an empathetic person who cares about people. So don't let other people get you out of character.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's so profound. Number one, shout out to her for doing that. Because that does show the kind of person that you are at heart. Right?
Yeah,
Like there's no pressure on you to go ahead and go do those things. Unless it's
yeah,
like internally we're like, man, I feel bad for this person.
yeah,
Or like my heart feels for this person. I want to do something for them. But you said something I think that we talk about all the time at work when it comes to learning and development. And it's four stages of competence. And you spoke about you were consciously thinking about things.
yeah,
Like don't grab that bottle. We're not trying to get messy, right?
yeah.
And so I'll quickly want to go through these four quadrants. And so people usually start at quadrant one, which is unconscious incompetence, meaning you're unaware that you lack a certain skill or ability to do something. You're ignorant to it, right? You're
Yep.
ignorant. And because you're ignorant, you don't even know that you need the skill, right? So then if you learn about something, say you hear something, someone gives you feedback, you become consciously incompetent, which means you're aware that you lack the skill, but you just don't know how to do it yet. Then you move into an area of conscious competence where now that's where you are. You're thinking about it and you're like, when I'm thinking about it, I know how to address it the right way if I take my time to think about it. And as you stay in that stage of conscious competence and you continue to practice it, you move to the last quadrant, which is unconsciously competent, where now it's just muscle memory. You don't got to think about it. It's just the way you are.
Mm.
And as you practice things, even that, where eventually your daughter knows you for this, but as you're consciously making the right decision, you'll eventually come to a point where you don't even have to think about it. That's just ingrained in your fiber. You know
Got you.
exactly what you're doing.
Got you.
Yep. This happens. I know exactly how I'm going to respond. I don't even got to think about it. This is
Yep.
what's going to come out. I'm good.
Yep.
I'm good. I got it. I got it. I got it. And like that's kind of the cycle we want to follow when we do things is you start in this area where you don't know nothing and you work to a way where you can do the right thing without even thinking about it, or you can act the way you want to act, because some people want to wild out, and that's okay, I guess, but you can do it without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And that's when you've mastered something, whether it's the art of doing something good or the art of disrespecting. Either
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
you've mastered it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's funny because we touched on this a little bit. I believe when Tone was on, and just figuring it out, right? Figuring it out by ourselves and without much guidance. But when you said "wild out," the first thing I think of is the locks. Do you know that song "Wild Out"?
yeah.
If he steps on your shoes, wild out. Like,
Wow. Yeah.
and now I remember. Even now, as I'm saying it, it's like I remember like the emotions that gave me. Like, yo, if someone steps on my shoe, I should fucking wild out. Now,
Right.
was that the best? Is that the best decision? Probably not. Now that I'm older, but even them, they'll probably say that themselves. Like Jaden, it was like, yo, I'll just buy another pair, or just it is what it is, right? But
Right.
at that time, or that age, or that mindset, you're thinking like, yo, fuck it, it is what it is. Because I remember those days clearly. So
Well, yeah. Yeah, bro. I mean, for us it was DMX. It
yeah,
was all about wilding out.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So it's like
Surgery
you
with the
yeah.
chainsaw.
You against me against you. That's what it is. It don't matter.
Yeah,
Whatever, fuck you gonna do. That's the attitude. You know what I mean? That was the attitude. It's like, we don't give a shit. This is how we acting. We gonna
it's
wild
funny, right?
out. That's what it is.
Excuse me. It's funny because we talk so much, you and I, that sometimes, I want to say sometimes, but we hear the same stories and we've talked about things that we've talked about in the past, and we know so much about one another, but we still share it on the show because obviously the audience might not know it. But there's something that I'll share that happened recently. So because my internet had gone out, right, and I had to do all the internet things, I had to reconnect my Sonos, which is the
Mm-hmm.
sound system. Oh, I had to put that out there because my guy Glenn didn't know what Sonos was. But anyway, so I had to connect my Sonos. In the app, there's an alarm now where I could set an alarm to my Sonos. Now, my Sonos especially in my room. But even if it wasn't in my room, that shit is crazy loud, especially with the subwoofer. Like,
right, it has to be.
it's crazy. It's the whole house will shake, literally. So I'm like, fuck, this will be great. Cause then I can wake up to music for my alarm. I don't gotta listen to that
Can
annoying
I
ass
call
sound.
you Rose?
Yeah. So I tried that the first time. I'm not gonna lie. I tried that the first day.
Of
Didn't
course
work
you
out as
did.
planned. It didn't work out as planned. Um, so I was like, yo, I should play some DMX or some shit, right? Like waking up to DMX blasting at fucking 7 in the morning is wild.
What
First and
song you
foremost.
pick?
So whatever, for whatever reason, I don't know why this song came up, but it did, and I played it, and it did wake me up, and it woke me up because of Scooby, and I'll elaborate a little bit more. So the song I picked was "Put Your Hand Up on My Hip." When I dip, you dip, we dip. So that shit came on at 7 in the morning, blasting. I'm talking about like a block party blasting, right? So Scooby's under the covers, so he lifts his head up like, what the fuck is going on? But while he lifts his head up, he's so big, he lifts the covers. So the covers now come off me. It's cold because it's fucking 10 degrees out. Now I'm awake. So it worked. Long story short, it worked.
Right.
I'm definitely gonna change the song tonight, and I'm gonna play something probably. You know what I'm gonna play? I'm gonna play "Who Let the Dogs Out" and see what Scooby does, and then
Yeah, that's gonna
take
get
it from
him.
there.
That's gonna get him amped.
It will, because not only because of the song itself, but Nove used to play it all the time, and he pretty much knows that sound. You know, dogs aren't stupid.
Right.
Um, and he used to like run around the house all anxious, and then Nove would mess with him with the broom, and he'd jump over the broom and stuff. So, um, yeah, I'm gonna play that song, see how that goes.
I thought you was gonna say you play what these bitches want, cause of what we talked about last week with Tone.
Oh, with Tone, yeah. Nah, I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
I gotta play some like real aggressive shit.
Yeah. If you want to
Somebody
get
said
amped
play.
up,
Somebody said play. Was it Beyonce "Ring the Alarm" or something like that? But I don't know how that would. I have an old soul though, so like old school music really resonates with me.
so what would you pick then?
I picked "Can I Call You Rose?" That didn't work out as planned, so
Why not? You just fell
I'd
asleep.
probably pick a Jada song, because for people who don't know, on the last episode that got cut, Jada's easily in my top 3. So probably something with Jada.
Okay. You gotta play "Kiss My Ass" by Jada.
You
That song
love
gets
that.
me hype.
Yeah, you love that shit. I
What?
don't know.
What do I like? Cause I was talking about bidets, not like people kissing my ass. What the fuck?
But
This guy
days
is
and
different.
bike rides without a C is crazy.
That shit was so fucking flagrant, bro. That shit was so flagrant.
The fact that it caught you a minute to catch on was like, wow, this guy.
I didn't get what you were getting at. I'm like, no, this is a PG show.
Yeah,
This is a PG show. He wouldn't say some shit like
I'm
bare
good.
metal.
Yo, bare metal. Wow.
That shit crazy.
Yeah, man. I really do. I look forward to these days because and it's wild because even when we talk amongst each other throughout the week, we still have stories to share that we've yet spoken upon one another. So that's good. And
That's fact.
I appreciate you not only as my co-host but as a friend. And I wanted to bring this up where you talked about how we may not have ever met, how that come to work, right? In that common interest.
Mm-hmm.
But God is good, and God puts
Yep.
people in your life that is supposed to be. And you just take it from
Amen.
there. Just
Yeah,
take it
that's
from there, man.
factual, man. There's no mistakes. Nothing's
Yeah.
coincidence. There's no like, oh wow, I can't. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's
Yeah.
doing. Knows what you need, and all you gotta do is just don't answer the phone all the time. Like Quan
Yeah.
said, you know.
Yeah. Let your friend crash and burn. You gotta learn the hard way. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, as always, think critically, speak infamously.
We out.
We out.